right, everybody. Hope you had a great new year, great holiday with your family. Today, I want to talk about Bitcoin and what could happen in 2025. Beginning with today's price, so we're now in a new year, post-halving year for Bitcoin. We're currently sitting at $96,522. And just want to take some time to reflect on the past year. You can see January 2nd, 2024, Bitcoin price was 44,971, so about 45K. And despite our slight decline from 108,000, the latest all-time high, you can still see that Bitcoin is up about 115%. So just always good to keep perspective in mind. As far as 2025, what could happen, we can just take a look at you know, I guess performance so far. Each of these blue lines here, this is the Bitcoin price on a logarithmic chart. And the blue lines represent January monthly candles. So for example, starting here, this is January 2012. Bitcoin opened at $5 open the month. So January 1st, 2012 was $5 and closed at $5 and change because it did increase 16%. So it was probably, $5 and change. So not bad for the price of one Bitcoin, $5. 2013, it opened at $13. Went all the way up to 21, ended up closing at 20. So 54% gain that month. So opened at $5 in 2012. 2013 opened at $13. 2014 opened at $732. Went all the way up to 1,000, closed at about 800. So we had a $5 start. 2012, 2013 is $13, so almost tripled. And then we went to $732 to start 2014. We did drop in the fourth year of this chart, at least in 2015, to $321. So you see here is 3 green and 1 red candle. Of course, still much higher than it was in previous years, except there was definitely a retrace. Now, 2016, we opened at 431, so definitely rebounding. 2017, 966. And then what looks like the blow off, $13,880. High, 17,235. I think it could have been as high as 20,000 as a wick, but definitely wild to see. And then, of course, we did have a pullback in, was this 2018, right? Or sorry. Well, January 2019, you could see that we opened at $3,694. So definitely had a huge decline. People were buying up here, felt really silly, really stupid, possibly sold or had buyer's remorse when they saw the price go down so significantly. And remember, Bitcoin was newer here and there was just less, I hate using the word certainty, but definitely more the Wild West back then, and having it go through its first, parabolic phase here in 2013, 2014 to 1,000, crashing, and then going up to around 20,000. This is saying 17K, and then crashing here. A lot of people just thought this was going to zero. And then 2020 started the year at 7,161. So definitely some improvement there. Of course, in March of 2020, we saw a dip with a low of around 3,900 for obvious reasons in March of 2020. The only reason I'm bringing that up is that was just, it's a very low wick. It's pretty scary. January 2021, opened the month at 29,000 on the dot. High of 42,000. This is when I got in. This is when I got in. I got in January 2021. I remember buying at about 30K, and I remember it went up to 42K. I felt like a genius. That was fun. January 2022 opened at 46K. 2022 was not fun towards the end with FTX collapsing and all of that fun stuff that if you've been in the space, you definitely remember. I think UST and Luna, all of this stuff happened here, BlockFi, Celsius. Just, I remember November 2022. I remember Bitcoin went, down to 16, I think it went to 15.5. I remember watching the minute candle on my computer. Just, I just couldn't believe it. It was just dropping and dropping and dropping. People were calling for, 10K. I did buy a little bit at 16K. I definitely should have bought more, but there was a lot of fear going on. A lot of people thought, if Bitcoin ever recovers, it's gonna take like a PR miracle because there was so much coverage and press on SBF and all this stuff. And what's wild is that was only 2 years ago. It feels like I've aged much more than that since then. But anyways, you could see here that January 2023 we opened at 16,530. The high was 24, so we rallied quite high, closing at 23,000 for a 40% monthly gain. You could see that hard rebound, and that really marked the reversal of this downtrend and the cycle bottom here, which also more or less aligns with this cycle top. Not to get too TA-ish, but you could see, you could see something there, right? January 2024, open price 42,258. We went to a high of 49. This was because the BlackRock or the spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved. That definitely helped drive up the price. That was a big part of, a lot of the adoption this or now last year came from that. We have people with retirement accounts can now more easily access Bitcoin, institutions as well. And yesterday, January 1st, 2025, again, Happy New Year, Bitcoin opened at 93,347. Bitcoin reached a high yesterday of 97,284. Maybe that was today. My point in bringing all this up as it relates to 2025 is you can just see, real sloppy, but you can just see that the line just goes up and to the right. Over time, it seems like we've had this pattern of 3 up years and a down year, but that's not guaranteed to last forever. No, Windows, you don't want to restart to install more creepy updates. And this should just continue as more dollars get printed chasing the limited amount of Bitcoin. There really isn't much Bitcoin left. There isn't much Bitcoin left. Let me snooze this before it ruins my shit. Okay. So in 2025, what's likely to happen is this trend, you could check back, at the end of the year, and it should just be higher price. There's no reason to get concerned with these, downtrends. If anything, that's your time to buy more. Remember, 15,000 invested in 2022 in November would be about 100,000 now. And you're just not really going to get that anywhere else. And if you do, it's probably a lot riskier than Bitcoin. You're better off just buying Bitcoin, buying, DCAing, lump summing, whatever you got to do, buy it every week, month, year, day. I do every day. And the winning strategy is it's not it's simple really, but it's you just gotta buy it and hold it. You don't have to time it. You don't have to sell it. You just keep accumulating it. I mean, how many people are gonna have one Bitcoin in the future? How many people are gonna have half a Bitcoin, quarter, even a tenth of a Bitcoin is about $10,000 right now. How many people do you think have a tenth of a Bitcoin? How many people do you think will have a tenth of Bitcoin if Bitcoin hits $1 million a coin? It's only a 10x from here, and really, it's just a matter of time. And I would encourage everybody to just continue their strategy and stick to it. Remember that over time the line goes up, and in 2025 we could see a lot more adoption by countries, institutions, where we hear about Trump and Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. We also hear about BlackRock's IBIT ETF. I think has about 50 billion in assets under management and was one of the best performing ETFs and fastest growing. Almost up there with these, spiders and, SPY, VOO, things like that. Really wild to see. And it looks like Bitcoin is a little higher on TradingView. Let's hit refresh here. Yeah, there we go. All right. You see it above 90K on TradingView. But that's it, guys. Just wanted to give you an update on what I think will happen in 2025. I think this trend will just continue. We will see a higher and higher Bitcoin price, and we could check in 12 months. January 1st, 2026. It's going to be a Thursday, and I will be providing another update then. Going forward, I think I'll just do like, a little recap and reflect on where we've come from the previous year. If you guys like the content, please consider subscribing, give the video a like, and I will speak to you all soon. Thanks. See ya.